Another part I wanted to get to is how to make use of resources to do this better. So number one would be ask coach what they saw and what they see and see if it lines up with what you're feeling. And then try to come up with a game plan together to make sure that you guys are in the same line of thinking. That way you can focus on what you want to focus, but now the coach is paying attention to that. So now when you do work on your high crotch, when you start hitting that, the coach is focusing on that and making sure you're doing it right. And if you're not, they're then coming to you and correcting you. The second thing we could do is use video. Right? Nowadays we got lots of videos of technique and matches on YouTube and different resources that we can access. We can even record our practices a lot easier. And so try to find wrestlers out there that are a similar style to you, or wrestler styles you like that you want to try some of their techniques, and then pay attention to what things are doing correctly and what things are not doing correctly. So say you're really big on doing a high crotch, right? And you find a wrestler that's really good at that. So now you watch their matches and you see, all right, what setups are they doing to get to that high crotch? And now when they're in that high crotch, what kind of position are they in? Are their hips further? Are their hips in? How's their arm position? Is it really high? Is it coming down on the leg? Like thinking about different positional aspects and then trying to see, all right, did that work for them? And if it didn't work, why didn't it work? Was it because of head position? Was it because their weight was shifted the wrong way? Right? So being very analytical with that. And then another thing you can do with video is you can ask your coach, hey, is it okay if I just bring in my phone for this practice so that I can record a little bit and that way I can kind of analyze my matches? And you would do it specifically for something like live or spar, where then you can look back on your match and see, all right, when I was in practice, I was really trying to do these things. I wasn't worried about the result. And now I see that I'm doing this right or I'm doing this wrong. And then you can make that change the next day. And the third thing you can do is use your journal. All right, so now this is something that I don't really do myself. I've tried it and it's been a little bit helpful, but for me, I don't work that way as much. But for a lot of you, I know that you do, and that it would be really helpful. And I can see the benefit myself, right? If you take a journal and you write down before practice a couple of things that you want to focus on, and then after practice, you look back at that and you say, did I do this well? Then you can say, this position I worked on pretty well. This one worked out pretty well. This one didn't. This is the reason. This is something I saw that I liked, that maybe I want to work on a little bit more. And then from there, you can put that into your next practice and that can carry over and you can say, all right, from yesterday's results, today I want to focus on X, Y, Z, and then you do it over again. So now you got a journal full of information, seeing where your journey is that you can look back on and say, all right, this was working. I'm having a lot of success here. This really isn't working, so maybe I'm going to discard that. That way you can have a little more proof of what you're already thinking because you have it all written down. So that's just my thoughts on how to approach practice. Hopefully these thoughts have been helpful for you. I know for me it has. I've been doing this kind of thinking for a long time, since high school, and it's allowed me to make a lot of bigger jumps and be able to analyze things a little bit better and have practices be more focused rather than just going through the motions. Right? And that's something that you really want to protect yourself against, is going through the motions, especially for a bunch of practices in a row. So the more that you can get out of that kind of mindset where you're just going to practice to get another practice in, then the better you'll be, because now you're focused on getting the most out of practice every time that you go there. So if you got value out of this video, please give it a like, share it with somebody if you think that it can help them, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and thank you.